It's the evil Constructicons, Decepticon vehicles built to destroy planet Earth. More than meets the eye, they're robots in disguise. And the Constructicons combine to form the dreaded Devastator for really big destruction. But the Constructicons unearth big trouble, the heroic Dinobots, Snarl, Slag, and Grimlock. These massive monsters transform into mighty robots. They'll blast those Decepticons into extinction.
Transformers! Robots in disguise!
Transformers Generation 2. Dinobots and Constructicons each sold separately.
What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another retro figure review. This is kind of a big one, so hopefully this won't be like a 40-minute video, but we do kind of have a lot to go over with as far as the figures and their combined mode. Hint, hint. So if you see the thumbnail of the video, then you know who we will be looking at. But I decided, since this came today of this recording, I decided to unbox these figures on video. So yeah, so with the last few videos, I've already talked about these figures, but this is a different version. This is a repaint. So once I open the box, you'll see what we're talking about, and I can go into further detail. But I was excited for this purchase. I was debating on getting this when once I got situated in the military, and I'm able to, buy stuff and have stuff shipped to me, or wait till, or just wait altogether. So yeah, cool. I got this for a pretty decent deal. Okay, everything's nicely wrapped. So we are looking at G2 Devastator from Generation 2 of Transformers, the Generation 2 toy line. So as I've said before, the Walmart reissue, one of my last videos was on the G1 Constructicons. I bought the Walmart version. Originally, I got, I believe, the vintage version. But like I said, they were vintage. They were, old, 40-year-old toys. Sticker quality wasn't the best, so I decided to sell the first set I bought. And I bought the Walmart version. When I got the Walmart version, I didn't like the quality. I didn't like the quality of plastic with those figures. I thought the Devastator mode held together very, very nicely, but the material used and those molds don't really work well with the old upgrade pieces. So I decided to sell that set, and I decided to get the decided to get the G2 set, and then when I leave somewhere down the line, I would just go and get the vintage version. So it was really cool. I had a G2 Mixmaster. So here we have Long Haul. We have Hook. I'm very grateful. Like I paid maybe like $70 for these. They were in an auction. Everything was complete except one accessory, which I decided to buy. I went ahead and went all the way to get everything included. One of the challenges of buying a G1 Devastator is getting all the characters together, and there's so many pieces, so to get everything together, that's going to kind of cost you an arm and a leg, unless you're lucky enough to find a listing that has pretty much everything, and maybe you could buy some of the pieces individually for a good, reasonable price, which is what I was able to do. So it's cool to have the G2 version. We have we have Scrapper, our leader. We have Scavenger. So I don't believe these guys have their stickers. Luckily, there is a website called, maybe it's called Repo Label, or I forgot the name of it, but I've bought them from them before. So hopefully my account is still active, because I've only bought from them one time, some years ago. So next thing I'll get are their stickers, which are like $10. So I think that's a good deal. Here's Mixmaster. Like I said, I had this version before. And I sold it with my, when I sold my first set, I sold that figure along with them. And lastly, we have Bone Crusher. So, of course, I'll be keeping all of this bubble wrap, or I have a few orders. I'll go. I'm possibly going out of town the week after next. I go into a little bit more detail about that towards the end of the video. So, I do have a couple of items people are interested in buying from me. You know, sell those so I can have some extra money for the trip. It looks like they used a food box. I don't know if I would reuse this for anything. Maybe I might. I had another person when I bought a custom figure. Someone shipped it in like a food box or something. So on top of these guys, on top of all these neat figures, we have um, we have the Crazy Debbie upgrade. Yes, so I was able to get the pieces. I bought this from a seller. I joined a Facebook group where people buy and sell and can trade collectibles. I made a post asking if anybody could help me find this Crazy Debbie Devastator, the Crazy Debbie upgrade pieces. Someone luckily was able to get in contact with me and we were able to work something out. They gave me a really good deal. And I was able to get all the pieces needed, which I'll show towards the end of the video. Yes, these are the green. These are intended for the original green and purple versions, but we'll work with what we have. Like I said, I do plan to get the green and purple ones, the vintage ones again down the line. So when I'm able to do that, I can just swap the pieces. But really quick, I did want to show one cool gimmick that he can do. And I was very fortunate. Everything worked out, luckily. Very fortunate. This Devastator, this Crazy Debbie version, has the ability to have his visor glow. So there's batteries in his head. Luckily, I had two batteries that worked, that were the right fit, the right size, and I was able to get it to work. So that is awesome. That is so cool. 10 years later, 10 plus years later, and the battery still works. So that is great. So yeah, you'll see more of that in the video. So we will pause, and then I'll show them individually, and then we'll show them in their combiner mode, and then we'll show them in their upgrade mode, and then we'll show a few size comparisons. So stay tuned. Okay, so got them all unpackaged, got them all in their individual robot modes. So impressions. I do like this version. Of course, this version is pre-owned. I don't know if it was played with. I see none of the original stickers were applied, so that works out for me when I decide to buy, whenever I get around to ordering the stickered up, stickers or whatever, because they do look naked. They do look naked. They would look weird without their stickers. But for the most part, they're in good condition, which I'm grateful for. A little looseness in areas, but I can, look past it. These are vintage 90s vintage toys, or that are re-releases of toys that were in the 80s, so you can kind of look past some of the datedness. I was trying to get the orange one, which I said the orange one it may have been like a UK exclusive, a KB Toys exclusive or something. That's extremely hard to get a hold of. There was a listing where someone had these figures, but Long Haul and Mixmaster were the orange version, and all the other figures in the set were these yellow and purple versions. So, and you see I swapped out Mixmaster's mixing drum. I swapped it out. That came with the Crazy Debbie upgrade. I swapped it out from the yellow one. There was someone to offer up, which I've bought a few rare collectibles from, who was selling it for $200. I sent them a message, seeing if they could, negotiate with me something a little under $200. They never got back with me, so oh well. Maybe one day I'll find the orange version for a good deal. But yeah, so like I said, Mixmaster. Again, you've seen this mold before. Out of these original figures, I think he has one of the better transformations and has really good posability. I really like his transformation, his alt mode. See a good look of his face. So really cool. Like I said, really, really cool. So these figures, to my knowledge, they were separate. These did not come in a gift set. So to have gotten all of them complete for the most part, and to find a listing that has all of them complete is a big deal because, like I said, these were someone that must have bought these separately in order to get them. Um, Here is Hook, who of course is potentially my favorite figure out of these figures. There's some looseness in the head, as you can see. I'm sure I could probably get something that could help with that, but um, see, has a hard time holding his head up. But I like him. Like I said, they're a little dusty and dirty in areas, so I might have to do some deep cleaning. I had to deep clean the combiner, the Crazy Devi pieces, because um, the person I bought them from, had a house fire at some point, and luckily none of the pieces were damaged, but they had like that debris still on them, so I had to clean them off. Um, so yeah, I dig him. I just, like I said, kind of a bummer that his head is loose, so he really can't. It's like he has a tilt. He looks down. Like you can kind of get it to, depending how he's angled, you can get him to hold his head up like that. But yeah, kind of a bummer. Um, Next we have Scrapper, leader of the group. I don't know. I don't think I'll show them in their individual vehicle modes. I could have probably showed that when I was taking them out of the bubble wrap, but you'll see what they all look like in vehicle mode when they're in their combiner modes. So again, he's cool. I dig him. I really like the yellow purple. It's just he's missing all his stickers. He looks naked without them. So definitely gonna get a sticker set. Personally, like I said, I think I prefer the green. The classic green and purple is just way more iconic and just way more memorable. But these versions are solid. These are solid substitutes for that. Especially, like I said, if you were a kid, you weren't born in the 80s, or maybe you were born in the late 80s or something, and you got into Transformers in the 90s and you were able to get your hands on these. This was another opportunity for people to get uh, these figures. Now we have Scavenger. Cool. I dig him. Again, he looks naked. I don't think any of them have their Decepticon symbols outside of these, which I like. Might not come in that well, but they have these little imprints on their bodies that say Decepticon. So that's really cool. So again, he's cool. It's just, to me, he's kind of my least favorite because he just looks like a brick with arms and legs. But he's cool. I like him. Next we have Long Haul, who again is kind of loosey. Again, of course, I give these figures grace. They're vintage. I'm sure these were potentially played with. So that's just what you get when you buy loose pre-owned toys. He looks cool. Again, I like him. He's one of my favorites. Um, Looseness in his arms, but he can actually hold them up nicely. So that's good. That's great. Um, Again, he has the Decepticon logo, Decepticon imprint on the back of him. So next we have Mixmaster, who I like. Another gimmick. These guys, they removed the launching gimmick. They also did that with the reissue. So unfortunately, he kind of loses the ability. Devastator loses the ability to do the spring-loaded attack, but still cool. Again, they just look naked. They look really weird without their stickers. So dope. Like I said, I really like them. I see some dust. I don't know if I have anything that can get rid of some of this dust. Okay, okay, this bubble wrap works a little bit. Yeah, get rid of some of that. But like I said, cool. And then adding the purple mixing drum, again, cool. Um, my knockoff Combiner Wars Devastator. He, yeah, my knockoff Combiner Wars Devastator. That was a G2 version. So I've had technically two G2 knockoffs of the Constructicons. Um, but yeah, that is all of them together. Get them in a pile. That's all of the Constructicons together. See, they all blend in together. Again, I really like these guys. I'm glad to have this. I guess you can kind of consider this a variant, like a variant set. I do like these guys. I do like this version. There's a 90s commercial of this G2 set, so cool. So next we will see them in their original combiner mode. And then from there, we will finally see them with the Crazy Devi upgrades, which I'm excited to do because the Crazy Devi uh, display, or however you want to say it, like that was my definitive version of these figures. Like if I told myself if I was to get these figures, I would want them with the Crazy Devi upgrades or the X Transbots upgrade. So yeah, we will cut, and then you will see them as their G2 Devastator. Okay, so now we finally have him. Took a minute. Finally have him in combiner mode. This is how he was displayed when he was auctioned off. And adding that purple mixing drum really does add to um, the figure. It really just adds to the figure. So I'm glad the third-party companies included that. I guess that's more cartoon accurate. Um, but again, he looks really cool. I dig him. Like I said, if the next generation of children saw this repaint and said, "Oh wow, that's really cool." Construction vehicles, that there were six of them, and they turned into one big robot. Even by '90s standards, early '90s, whenever Generation 2 came out, I'm sure that was a really cool, skeptical spectacle to see. I really wish I could have got the orange version. I said maybe one day I'll try to get that. If I had gotten the orange version, yeah, I would probably, like I said, I would probably buy the original G1 down the line, but I would be straight. Like if I had the orange version and not get any other version of the characters or any other Transformer, I would be cool with the orange version. But this is a solid substitute. Like I said, it's just a second option for those who maybe missed out on the original figure back in the day. And like I said, these guys, I like the little, like you see right here, a little Decepticon insignia, and it's purple. And they look really cool. Now, if you notice, these little guns on the side here are green. I swapped those out with the upgraded torso. I swapped the yellow pieces out, the screwdriver. So yeah, and I'll show you guys real quick what the Crazy Devi looks like. So here's one of the silhouette, and this is intended for the arms and torso. So really cool. What was I about to say? But yeah, like I said, this is a solid version. I do like it. It's just again, old 20, what this came out in the 90s, so what, like 20 years old. Quality for the most part is good. Like I said, obviously would not play with this, but just having him on a shelf, having him somewhere where he wouldn't fall over and get broken. I think it holds together well. Like I said, it just sucks. No stickers, but that works out for me. I can, give them clean them off, and give them fresh stickers. But I dig him. He holds together decently. That's why I'm kind of holding him by the torso. Some of the metal has, the metal pieces looks a bit worn out. So I can look past that. Um, but yeah, that is G2 Devastator. He looks really cool. I really dig him. Like I said, I honestly like the figures in the form they were intended to be without the upgrade pieces. I honestly like him like that, like this. These guys and um, like I said, the Dinobot, the Constructicons, then the Dinobots are my favorite Transformer characters in all Transformers. So any version of Devastator, any version of the Dinobots, I'll pretty much gravitate to. So yes, well, we cut once again, and we're making great time. This is now 20 minutes. When we cut once again, we will see him finally in his Crazy Debbie upgrade version. So stay tuned for that. Okay, gang. Finally, we have G2 Devastator with upgrades, with the Crazy Debbie upgrades. A neat thing, these little guns on his leg can move and go 360. As you can see what I'm doing right here, which is really cool. So like I said, I personally like this version and the X Transbots upgrade version better. I think the Junkion Blacksmith one was better in the sense that you got the leg pieces, you got the forearm. The forearms and the hands were all connected together as one piece, and you've got a chest plate, which was cool. The chest plate piece, and you got two different heads, which were light piping instead of a LED light. So really, just depending on what your preference was. But and again, we're supposed to be getting a Studio Series version. Um, we're supposed to be getting a studio Series version based off how they looked in the 1986 movie, and I will get that version. Like I said, I will eventually repurchase another vintage G1 version. Um, these guys look great. They look really cool. Posability. Let's see. Knees. Of course, things is kind of hindered a little bit due to this waist piece right here. This waist piece. But you see, knees can go out, ball jointed. They can move. So like a knee bend. Of course, arms can move 360. So like I said, he's pretty much like this. He is pretty much a display piece. He is pretty much a display piece, which is nothing wrong with that. Of course, you wouldn't play with this. Put on a shelf, fiddle with them, holds together nicely. Of course, you can see some of the green parts, like right here and right here, but again, it's not really bothersome. He had another connector piece that came with the Crazy Debbie, another arm connector, but I couldn't get it to connect to Scrapper here. I got Scrapper Scavenger, so I just removed it. Like I said, his hands, they are individually, the fingers individually move. I'm not going to move them because they do kind of fall. The fingers kind of fall off a little easily, not a little bit when you fiddle with it, but it's still cool that he has the functionality to open his hands and pose them, and that's really cool. Of course, he can probably hold a little legend scale figure. I have my little legend scale barricade, but he's in his car mode, so I don't think Devastator will be able to hold him as a car. Take my word for it, which is really cool. As to the playability options. But yeah, so it was just fun to have these guys combine. I have the option to combine him in his original form, his upgraded form, have the individual Constructicons in their vehicle modes, have them in their individual robot modes. There's just so much fun to be had with this set. And even though this is a 40-year-old toy, it still has a lot of charm to it, and these upgrades really do add to it. Really, really cool. But like I said, so I'm very grateful I took the time to, see if anyone could sell these to me, and I was able to get them. Had to technically pay an arm and a leg to get everything, but it was worth it for Devastator. And last but not least, I'm so happy these batteries work. Here he is with the his head visor. I apologize if you hear noise in the background. That's the garage door opening. But yeah, he has his head visor, which looks really, really dope. It's really cool. And again, just adds to the posability. It adds to the posability. So yeah, Devastator. So that is it for this review. Again, it wasn't too long because I was able to cut between parts. But again, if you're interested, knock yourself out. The upgrades might be hard to get a hold of, but the individual, just the G2 version, knock yourself out if you're interested. Again, there's plenty of versions of Devastator out there if you do not like the G1 version. So it's really just personal preference, but I like him, so that's why I got him. I also like this gun, how big it is. If it's very appropriate for Devi for his size. But again, that's it for this video. Don't know what the next one will be. Don't know what the next, if I decide to buy something new, don't know what that'll be. But like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys. Oh, okay, I forgot. Oh, I forgot to show a little, size comparison with him. So here he is with my other combiner, Decepticon combiner, Follow Cybertron Bruticus. See them together. So I'm not sure. Yeah, Bruticus is still a little bit taller than him, but cool. Still cool. They still look good together. Yeah, Bruticus. And we have him with a little Micromaster version. 6 builder. They look cool together. And then we have him. I didn't bother to try to retransform him, but we have Hauler. So give you an idea how big Hauler would be. Hauler with Constructicons. But yeah, forgot to show the size comparisons, give you an idea. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.